Hello guys, I hope that you are doing good. Today we are going to talk about cloud database on Heroku and DB API. So what is Heroku? Heroku is basically a cloud platform which gives you the option to deploy your websites which are developed on Python, Node.js, Java, and you can see more languages on their official website. So today I'm going to use Heroku to use cloud database, and I hope that you guys have the knowledge of databases. Some of you have been working on relational databases which includes MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle and Postgresql. So I would be using Postgresql. Heroku provides the service of using PostgreSQL, so we would be using PostgreSQL in this video lecture. So let me go to the Heroku website and let me sign up for free over there. So I have actually already filled the blanks. So this is actually a headache. Sorry. Please check your email. Okay, so let us check our email. Here we are. Team. Let me place password right over here which follows these instructions. So I'm on Heroku finally, and this is my dashboard. So sorry for that. So let us create a new app to begin with the database, and here like placing this name. Let's see. So it is fortunately available. Create app. Okay. Then go to resources and put this Postgres, Heroku Postgres. You can see that there are different packages to use this Heroku Postgres, but I would be using this free version. Version it. And you can see that we have it over here. So let us see our database. So you can get the credentials, but before that you can see that it provides us with 10,000 of rows which are free to use. So now let us see our credentials, settings, view credentials, and here we are having our credentials: host, database, user and port. We would be using these credentials once we are able to understand the DB API. let's talk on DBAPA now. So DBAPA is actually the set of functions which allows us to use the database, and using DBAPA we can communicate with our database, which is Postgres. Different databases have different DBAPA. In our case we are using Postgres. In case of Postgres we are using this DBAPA, which is PsychoPG2. I would be providing you the link in the description. You can visit the link and you can explore the things. So I'm over here. You can install this PsychoPG2 by this command. You can type this command in your terminal and you can download it. As I have already downloaded it, so I don't need to download it again. Okay, once we are done with the download, we can use this DBAPA. So I hope that you people have installed the Jupyter Notebook, so we can use Jupyter Notebook for testing our database. So but before that, I really want to rationalize this DBAPA with real world example. So let's see. Let's look. The Asma is being hired by the office and she is asked to join. So when she goes to attend the office, she is not allowed to go inside the office because she is not having the entrance card. So for this, she needs to have the entrance card to work with the office data. So once she has got this card, she can actually interact with the office data and she can go inside as well. So here you can see that the entrance card is PsychoPG2 and the office is our database, which is PostgreSQL. So I hope that it's quite clear that Python cannot interact with PostgreSQL until or unless it is using the DBAPA, which is PsychoPG2 in case of PostgreSQL. Let us test this PsychoPG2 DBAPA in our Jupyter Notebook. So I would be opening Jupyter Notebook. On command line. Let me go to the documents. Development, Python, and let me make a new Python 3 notebook. With the name of DBAPA. Rename it. You can see that the name of this Jupyter Notebook is DBAPA and Postgres. Let me copy the code from tutorials point. Sorry. G2 copy, paste right over here. Python 3 uses these parentheses. Okay, so let me place my credentials over here, which is provided by Heroku. You have seen that we have already created the database on cloud and we are going to use its credentials over here. Here we have host is EC2 Amazon, copy, host, paste right over here, and then database. User is port is by default 5432 for Postgres. So let me run this by pressing Control plus Enter. Sorry, I just forgot to place this password. Let me place it. This is the password. Let me run it again by pressing Control plus Enter. So you can see we are finally connected with the database through this psychopg2, which is the database API, and database API is giving us different functions to connect to database, and further we are going to see that how we can interact with our database by using different functions of psychopg2, which is the database API. Let me create a new cell. So, escape and then plus B to create the cell below. And if we want to create our cell above, we can use A to create the cell above. Simple A to create the cell above and simple B to create the cell below. Press A to create the cell above and B to create the cell below. Okay, and to delete the cell, double D, double D, double D, double D. Okay, actually Jupyter Notebook allows us to create the Python code, and we can interpret the Python code with the help of Jupyter Notebook. We can also interpret the Python code with the help of .py file, and we can interpret that by placing the file name after the Python command. Okay, so let's go on tutorials point and let us create a table. We have already imported it. We have already made a connection also, so I would be copying this and would be pasting that on in our cell. As I've already told you that Python 3 uses parentheses. Print. Let us execute it by Control plus Enter. Table is created. And one more thing, that we don't need to install the PostgreSQL on our machine because we are using the PostgreSQL from the cloud, which is Heroku. I'm utterly convinced that most of you people have been working on databases and have tried different databases management systems like MySQL, SQL Server or SQLite 3. But in your case, you have been working with the local databases which were configured on your machines, and for that you actually downloaded those management systems on your machines. So in this case, the database is configured on cloud, so we don't need to download PostgreSQL, which is the database management system in our case. Now let us insert some data into this table which we have created right over here. Table name is company. We have already made this cursor in our code, you can see right over here. So we need to copy this, and before copying this, let me delete this line because we don't want to close the connection. We have to insert the data. And don't forget con.commit. So inserting the data into the table which I have created. Cards are created. Now let us see what kind of data is actually present in our database. So let us use the select query. So here is the select query. I hope that you people know about SQL. So let me copy this all. Please right over here. This. Let me place these parentheses. So you can see that we are printing all those columns which were actually created by us: name, age, address, salary. We are printing their data. Let us execute it, and you can see that whatever we have inserted right over here is being printed right over here. Okay, so let us delete some of them. So let me use this delete. Let me create a cell below. Delete from company where ID is 2. We want to delete this one. Okay, so whenever we are going to execute this cell, the row with this ID which is equal to 2 will be deleted. Now execute this, and we can run the cell again to see that whether the row was deleted or not. So you can see that when I executed this cell, the row was deleted. Let us see that how we can use update query. We have this update query. Okay, so you can see the query that it is updating the salary of ID1 to 25,000. Let me execute it, and let us see that whether the changes are made or not. So you can see right over here that the salary of ID1 is changed from 20,000 to 25,000. So it's working. So the queries I have executed are actually the most common queries which are performed by any application. These queries are called CRUD: create, read, update, and delete. So we have seen that we have created the data, we have read the data, which is right over here, we have updated the data, which is right over here, and we have deleted the data, which is right over here. So so we can query anything we want to using the DBAP, which will allow Python to communicate with PostgreSQL and will allow to work on the data of PostgreSQL. We can perform any other query as well. Let me perform a query. So I'm placing this where id is equal to 4. So see what are the results after executing it. Control enter. So you can see that it has given us the result which has id 4. So you can execute any database query. You can use joins, you can use sub query, and you can get the result. Now I would like to invite some of our group members which can help me in rationalizing the cloud database, and we are going to share the credentials of our database with them, and we will see that either they can access our data and can update, delete, or perform any query or not. So we have our members here, Samrina.
Hello guys.
And Ahmed.
Hi guys.
So they have my database credentials and are going to perform queries on my database, and they have installed PsychoPG2 already, and let's look how they can interact with the database. So Samrina would be inserting data in the database. Samrina, could you please insert a row?
Sure. Inserted.
Okay. Could you please see whether the data is inserted or not?
It's inserted.
So let's have a look on Ahmed's screen. And here I am on Ahmed's screen. Could you also test the data whether it's there or not, Ahmed?
Yeah, sure.
So could you please point out the data? Okay. So we can see over here that Ahmed's screen is also showing us the data, which was actually inserted by Samrina. So I am on Ahmed's screen, and Ahmed would be deleting the row which has ID 7. Could you please execute it, Ahmed?
Yeah, sure. Executed.
Could you please confirm, Ahmed, whether it's still in our database or not?
Yeah. I'm executing this cell right now. So executed it. There's no data here.
So we would be watching Samrina's screen. Samrina, could you please test data whether it's there or not?
Sure.
You can see that Ahmed Leo was over here, and when she executed the cell, now you can see that it's not there. Is it there or not? It's not there actually. Okay. Thank you so much, Samrina and Ahmed, for helping me out to rationalize the cloud database concept. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So we have seen that Ahmed and Samrina were interacting with the same database, which was actually deployed on Heroku. The database that Heroku gave us was PostgreSQL, and I want you people to have one database deployed on Heroku and test that among your team. Thank you.